Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching and decade-long recipient of narcissistic abuse, and I've saved myself from it. The topic of today's video is the first part of a three-part series, which is called Your Decision Process. Today's video is Pain, the teacher you're not yet listening to. We will go through three types of pain. There are more, but those are the vital ones for the topic of today. And over the course of this three-part series, I will show you where you are during your decision-making process to free yourself of the narcissist or narcissists in your life, why you are there, and how you get out of it, how your decision process works, and what contributors factor into said process. So the three types of pain I would like to go through with you in brevity are the physical pain you experience while being the recipient of narcissistic abuse. You will have bodily symptoms, possibly or likely weight gain, rashes, itches, several aspects where your body already triggers and wants you to know that something is wrong here. The second type of pain is the emotional one. The emotional one caused by being invalidated, being lied to, being cheated, being manipulated. And the last type of pain, to conclude that triumvirate, is the mental pain, that is the doubt instilled in you by gaslighting, by the narcissist creating new limiting beliefs for you and reinforcing the already existing limiting beliefs within you. These are three types of pain that matter for today's video. There is something innate within us, within all of us, that is called the pain avoidance. If we are faced with a binary choice between pain avoidance and pleasure seeking, humans, usually in most cases, as studies have shown, opt for the pain avoidance instead of the pleasure seeking. You might now think, and justifiably so, okay, all the described pains above, the physical, the mental, the emotional, are pains that I feel on a regular basis and in high intensity most of the time. Why doesn't my personal pain avoidance kick in and enable me to move on, to move away from that relationship? That is a good question, and the pain avoidance at first glance does not seem to work when we are in narcissistic relationships. But that perception that pain avoidance doesn't work is in fact wrong, because it's not on paper an absolute by itself. It can be diluted by other factors. So how do you by yourself in your narcissistic relationship, where you are the recipient of said narcissistic abuse, dilute that pain that you actually want to avoid? You dilute it by having hope that it gets better, by empathy for their feelings, their ups and downs, their traumata, by your overvaluation of the positive experiences with them, and last but not least, diluted by your own limiting beliefs that will be, as discussed before, reinforced and new ones created by the narcissist in your life. All of those dilute the pain that you feel, so the pain avoidance really does not impart on you that this is the most pain that you can have, and that is the exact pain that you might avoid. So you ask yourself, what pain is bigger than all of that that I described. The pain that is bigger, and that is in fact the one you're avoiding while being in narcissistic relationships, the pain that is actually bigger for most of you is, I'm afraid to lose them. It is very paradoxical, but imagine this. You're in a relationship, that relationship, not the person by itself, but the relationship and all the pain you're experiencing therein with the narcissist is what you call the devil you know. That's on the one side. On the other side is the unknown. What's next? What comes after? And let's make a thought experiment, a simple math experiment. Let's say that the devil you know, that negative situation, the painful situation, for you in your mind is 10 plus 10. And the unknown is 30, 30. So you think 10 plus 10 is less than 30. Okay. So you want to avoid the 30 because it's more than the 10 plus 10. But if you manage to undilute what you perceive as the biggest pain in your life, or the biggest conglomerate of different sources of pain, is not actually, in truth, 10 plus 10, but 10 times 10. And 10 times 10 is way more than the 30. So what did we just do with this thought experiment? Going back to the pain avoidance. Pain avoidance requires one aspect, one thought, one thing of you, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine it as if it were a microscope. And under that microscope is pain. But which is the pain you're looking at? This pain you're looking at can be exchanged. At the moment, you're looking at the biggest pain being the unknown. Because I know how to behave, how to reduce myself, how to minimize myself so he or she doesn't have their most extreme temper tantrums. It's just a medium level temper tantrum this time. And all the strategies that we use and develop over time, and we give away time, potential, validation, attention, tolerance for the bullshit of the narcissist, etc., and we become smaller over time. Because what we're looking at is the pain we want to look at and avoid, and let our innate pain avoidance trigger, is the unknown. I have no idea what that is, and I'm afraid of it. So I stick with that situation that I call the devil you know. Because it seems less. It seems less only because you and I, we all were masters at diluting the pain that we're looking at by hope, empathy, limiting beliefs, and the overvaluation of the positive experiences with the narcissist in our lives. Let's go one step further. Let's assume that pain is a physical teacher. And you're in class, you're in session with your teacher, Mr. Pain. And Mr. Pain addresses you and your neighbor. He addresses you, Eve, and he addresses you, Andrew. And he says, okay, boys and girls, you got to pay close attention this year. It's going to be rough. Be mindful. Have your eyes and ears open. Learn and prepare for the exam at the end of the year, because it's really gonna be a tough one, and I want all of you to pass the class and graduate. Okay, fair enough. You try to do that, but at the end of the year, you fail the exam. You fail the exam for the 5th time in a row. And at some point, Mr. Pain, who actually wants to help you get out of this and advance in levels throughout your life, and maybe at some point even graduate, he doesn't know what to teach you. We got to go through the same loop again and again and again. It's the same class, and Mr. Pain really tries to help you until you manage to actually understand the lessons that Mr. Pain tries to impart on you so you can move on in your life with more knowledge and a greater resolve for whatever chapter in your life comes next. There will be a different Mr. Pain, or a Miss Pain, or a Mrs. Pain. But it's going to be something new, and you profit from all of that which you've learned before and incorporated into your being with open eyes and ears. So going back to the pain avoidance, there are two things I would like for you to have. Think about the microscope analogy. Re-evaluate what your actual biggest pain is and let your pain avoidance do the rest of the work for you. And for that to happen in the proper and best way, you need to undilute what you perceive as pain. You need to distill all of that down to the source of the poison that you're being exposed to on a daily basis, and remove the diluters: hope, empathy, overvaluation of positive experiences, and limiting beliefs. There are several sources who can help you with this. For some it's psychologists, for others it's coaches, for some it's both, and a good circle of friends, or that one guy, that one woman that really is on your side. Those are sources to help you undilute that substance to get to the core of what the true poison is that you're being exposed to. And now, just add in one single ingredient. One single ingredient. And before I go to that, let's recap that math idea. Your pain of seemingly 10 plus 10 is less than the unknown. The pain of the unknown is 30. And now you add that single ingredient to the poison that you're receiving. And that single ingredient is the realization: the narcissist will never change. I'll repeat that. The narcissist will never change. And that single ingredient corrects the formula from above. The unknown is 30. The pain of the situation you're in is not 10 plus 10. It's 10 times 10. And that is a good deal more than your leap into the unknown. Be your own hero and be your own heroine, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in part 2 of your decision process.